Nope. Monday's tomorrow.
So how'd you treat today?
Today was just we wanted to get back. They had been off since last Monday, so today was just practice and introduction of things, and not like a typical Monday practice for us. So tomorrow will be a typical Monday practice for us.
Okay.
When you start his off?
What's that?
When you start his off in this game?
We already started it, so yeah. So we just got an extra day to prepare.
Who booked the most frequent flyer miles the last 3 days?
There's still some guys out, but I think everybody was in it. There'll be a couple guys fighting for that title, but that's a good problem.
Who's missing from this lineup?
Coach Cam, Frosty, and Az. The rest of them are here. The rest, some of them came in during
What's
practice.
the mechanics of practice when guys are missing?
We just do more group things. So Healthy's got all the skill guys because the wideouts and the running backs weren't there. So, and that's why we didn't have a full Monday practice, because I want all our coaches back, and they should be back sometime this evening. So.
Grades in yet?
Grades are in. We're good.
Coming into the spring, how concerned were you about the depth you had at linebacker and the experience you had there?
It wasn't a concern. It was, we knew we had guys there, but just some kids that hadn't had a chance to really play, and that was the big thing. You know, what was Stuckey going to be like? We knew we were probably going to have to play some young guys, which we did. Felt good about the Sam position with Kadu and Lacumbo. Felt really good about Michael Clay. Felt good about Kiko. But then we had to, kind of figure out Kiko was coming in off an injury. Stuckey hadn't had extensive playing time, but I was confident in him. And then what were the young guys going to be like? So.
Has Stuckey been kind of a pleasant surprise?
Yeah, Stuck. I mean, and he won our most improved player. I think he really was the one guy I think that took advantage. And it really wasn't that he was most improved. And DP even said it at the thing. It was just he got his opportunity and seized it. He was behind Spencer Pasinger and Casey Matthews, two guys that are playing in the NFL right now. But he prepared for this and when he got his chance, he just took it and run with it. So.
Were you 100% confident that he was going to do that? Was there any part of you that was surprised?
You don't know. I don't think he was surprised, but that's the questions that you have, are who's going to step up. But the type of kid that DeWitt is, it wasn't surprising that he's done what he's done, because I've seen him for 4 years. So.
Are there certain things about Nick that make him so effective as a defensive coordinator? Are there certain qualities that stand out in your mind?
Yeah, he got a great work ethic. Spends a ton of time watching tape. He's very, very thorough in his approach. He's always prepared. I think he's a great teacher. He can get his point across. And I think he's a real good motivator. So that's why, I was really excited when I took over that he was going to stay.
What kind of recruiter is he?
He's a great recruiter. You look at the Kadus and the Boyettes and all the kids we got contributing for us from the NorCal area. It's pretty good.
How would you describe the plan with 3 freshman quarterbacks this season?
I think they've gotten better. I thought they did a really nice job. Really, really happy with how Troy and T. Mitch and Efo have really come along. The 2 guys redshirted, but Efo stepping right in. But I've been really pleased with how our corner play all season long.
Chip, with the staff you have, so much continuity through, it's not just you, but a lot of people. How much does that help year to year with the success you've had here?
It certainly helps. I think it makes meetings easier. I think we're all on the same page. There's not guys. Guys don't have different agendas. I think they understand what we're all trying to get accomplished, and it makes things a lot easier. When people are finishing people's sentences, it's everybody's kind of on the same page of how we want to get things done. So.
And you probably mentioned, I just walked in here, but off for a few days. Good work today.
Yeah, today was good to get back. They had a good lifting session according to Jimmy this morning, and to get back to football. We hadn't had football since last Monday, and we all kind of took off, but they were flying around today. So.
Where's Grasu at right now compared to 3 months ago?
He's just a wealth of experience. You get to get in a game and making the calls, and a lot more confident in kind of how he's doing things. So I think from a confidence standpoint and experience standpoint, he's really, a lot farther along. And that's part of it. Do you grow from your experience? And he's grown. So.
Chip, you guys really obviously emphasize practice a lot here. Compared to other teams that you've been around, do these guys take practice more seriously or practice harder?
No. I mean, everywhere I've been, it's always been about practice. So, and that's the message when I took over here, that it was going to be about practice. So.
And obviously all coaches know that practice is important. What is it, when did you decide that you were going to make it as critical to guys even getting on the field as you have?
I think that's the way it's always been, the way I was growing up. I mean, it's not a cliche. You play how you practice. So that's the way it's always been, and that's the way it was ingrained in me. I think I don't know And I don't know there's a coach that's going to go on record that say practice isn't important, but so.
Thank you.
Chip, have the receiver spots kind of played out as you expected? Who would play, who would step up?
We don't have an expectation, so I couldn't tell you. I don't go in saying this is going to happen because during the course of the season, guys are going to get injured, things are going to happen, and you just got to deal with it as it comes. But we don't go in and saying it's going to be this guy, going to be that guy. The only two proven guys we really had were 2-A and Huff. And Huff was coming off an injury, so but besides that, how is Darrell Hawkins going to fit into the scheme? Where does DeAnthony fit into the scheme? How does Rasan Vaughns fit into the scheme? Those are question marks coming in. The receiver was a big question coming into the season, but we don't have expectations of it's got to work out this way. It plays out how it plays out.
Some people have wondered if you're going to alter practice and how you mentioned it because you guys lost the last 2 preseason games. Have you altered anything that you?
No. I'm doing the same things.
Have you talked to LaMichael about his decision of whether to?
No, that's a big misconception. He applied for the draft to get his draft status, and we haven't gotten that back. So it's the same thing I did last year. When those things come back, every kid that puts their name in, I sit down and tell them what they said, but we haven't gotten that information back. So there has been no conversation with him or any other kid that's applied because we haven't gotten any information from him.
When you sit down with those guys, do you lobby for them to come back? Do you let them make the decision?
It's all an individual situation depending on what the report comes back in the things, and we haven't gotten the report back. So,
what do you think LaMichael should do?
What's that? I wouldn't be surprised at anything. I don't know what the report says.
So how many guys are there?
I don't know. Hawk does that, so I think 5 or 6. I think a lot of them were the same guys that did it last year, and we had a kid last year that Javis Lewis that said he wasn't going to get drafted, and he went in. So nothing surprises me. So honestly, but again, we haven't had a conversation because I have nothing to base a conversation on about, hey, what's going to happen if this situation? Because I don't know what the situation is when we get that back, and it's the same protocol I've had every year I've been here, and we'll sit down and when we get it in and visit with it. So
his high school coach said the plan is his last year is to set up this year and get him ready for the draft. Do you feel he's done enough to?
I have no idea. No idea. That wasn't our plan. Our plan was to get our best players on the field. So when we make decisions about how we're going to do it or what we're going to use a guy, we weren't using Kenyon this year. We felt like we could use Michael, but we didn't use him the year before. But none of the decisions we made were so we could showcase him to get his draft status. It was about helping us win football games. And I know when you got 21 back deep and I'm on the other team, I start to think twice about how I'm going to kick the football. And that's where the advantage comes for us. But we don't do things here, no matter what position it is hey, how do we showcase this kid so he can get his skills to show that he can play in the NFL? I know he can play in the NFL, and I think the people that will scout him will tell you that. But how it fits and who the rest of the guys are in the draft, I don't know. I only know the guys I see in our league. So.
Would you consider it unusual for a fifth-year senior who's done all he's done to return?
No. Everybody told Andrew Luck last year you're going to be the number 1 pick in the draft, and he came back. So I don't know. Peyton Manton came back, and then other guys like Javis Lewis leave when they told they weren't going to get drafted. So I'll just advise him on how it falls out. But the decision is his, and I'm never going to sit there and say this is what you should do or this is what you shouldn't do. If he wants me to weigh in, we'll weigh in. But my conversation with him last year, our meeting lasted like 30 seconds. I said, "Here's the report. What do you want to do?" He says, "I ain't going, Coach." I said, "All right." Spring practice starts in April, so we'll see. And if he wants more advice from us, then we'll sit down and give him more. But if he's got a thought in his head, depending on what that number is, then I really don't know. But we haven't had a discussion yet because there's nothing for us to discuss until I get that paperwork back.
As far as bowl prep goes, is that an internal thing or